Good morning. Coming up here on a Tuesday edition of GMA, the latest on that breaking news with Buffalo Bills player Demar Hamlin, who collapsed during the Monday Night Football game after suffering cardiac arrest. What we know about his condition this morning. And the latest on the Idaho student murders. The suspect due in court today, and the father of murder victim Kaylee Gonsalves is only on GMA this morning with his reaction to the latest developments in the case. You'll see these stories and so much more right here on GMA.
In case you missed it, you can meet San Antonio's first baby of the new year. Avery Rose Jacks was born just 2 seconds into the new year at North Central Baptist Hospital. You can check out all the beautiful baby pictures right now at ksat.com. Well, ahead the next hour of GMSA, the FDA is set to make a ruling on an experimental Alzheimer's drug. We'll check out the timeline for approval and any possible safety concerns. Plus, fallout continues after that scary injury sent an NFL player to the hospital in critical condition. We'll have an update on him and reaction from the league after postponing that game indefinitely. And next up, the Congress opens today on Capitol Hill. New Congress. We'll take a look at the high-stakes battles expected to play out in just a few hours on the Hill. And back here at home on TransGuide, if you're coming into San Antonio on I-10, you are going to expect slowdowns due to an overturned big rig. We've been tracking this now since we went on the air at 4:30, and we will continue to do so coming up at the top of the hour. This morning on GMSA, Uvalde School District went on high alert after a stranger was reported on campus. We'll take a look at the response this time, along with security changes before class starts again.
Plus, most of us love New Year's fireworks, but a family in San Antonio is not celebrating after a bullet fell through the roof from the sky. What they're saying now, coming up.
You know how warm it was around here? Downright toasty. It has changed this morning. The humidity has been swept away by a cold front. Mike has your Tuesday forecast coming up.
Live from KSAT 12. Good morning, San Antonio starts right now.
Good morning for a lot of folks. It is truly a back to work Tuesday, January 3rd.
And Happy New Year. Thanks for joining us. Yesterday we took a walk out and it got really hot. It was almost like summer.
Yeah, back a little bit closer to normal. And I say a little bit closer to normal. Mike's here with more on that and the rest of our work week forecast.
Well, I was thinking maybe heat and air conditioners could get a little bit of a rest over the next couple of days.
Just turn it all off?
You might need a hint of it here and there, but in the afternoons with the drier air, that's what's going to be nice. Now, if you're out in the direct sun, it's going to be a little warmer. We're going to be up in the mid 70s, but nothing like what we had the past couple of days with all that humidity around here, nor the humidity this morning like we had yesterday morning. So we do still have a few clouds hanging around here, and you can see an airplane taking off to destinations unknown. 64 degrees, so we have dropped down a couple of notches. 55 going out I-10, and then 47 is the cool spot on the map out there in Kerrville. 55 Hondo, and 63 in Gonzales. So we're still... Well, we're at basically our normal high temperature right now, and still anywhere from 20, almost 25 degrees above the normal low, but we'll continue to drop down another couple of notches with this very dry air in place. Wind is out of the northwest at about 5-10 miles per hour, a little breezy at times here and there. 12 mile per hour winds out at the airport. Mold is on the low side. Mountain cedar is still high, although about half of what it was previous day. Remember, it was up to almost 13,000 from Sunday's reading, and it's going to be interesting with these north to northwesterly winds to see what the mountain cedar count does. That update's going to be coming out later on this morning, of course, and I'm going to bet on we're dropping down a few more degrees into the upper 50s here in town when it's all said and done. Got some clouds hanging around here this morning, and then they're going to start to clear on out by late morning. We'll make it up to 69 at noon. Plenty of sunshine, a gorgeous day with dry air, a little bit of a breeze here and there, 10-15 miles per hour, maybe on the breezy side at times. Still going to be warm though, 75 for a high temperature, but again, dry air, sunshine. Beautiful sunset, beautiful moon rise. We're approaching the full moon phase, and it's going to stay really nice for the next couple of days. Weekend, another front moves on through here, and this one's going to bring an okay chance for some rain. Details coming up in just a couple of minutes. Traffic Authority, Mr. Cavasso, still a big problem out northwest, right?
Yeah, unfortunately, Mike, this is what we are seeing now, at least 2 hours in. I-10 at Bernie. We do have this crash that was reported, actually a rollover involving an 18-wheeler, and I just received an update from our friends over at TransGuide. They they could be there a while. So just not a good area because I-10 eastbound near mile marker 537 is where it's been reported. We can tell you that right now, as you can see it also there on the TransGuide camera, traffic is being diverted to exit mile marker 537. And that's why we are seeing a little bit more of a buildup there along the access roads, because we are seeing some flashing lights and investigators still working to clear this scene up. Again, I-10 eastbound as you approach mile marker 537, we have that red that still has actually stayed pretty steady, surprisingly, but it is 6 a.m. so a lot more folks are waking up and probably plan to travel down I-10 east in the next few minutes just to get the commute going here. All right, getting you back here to the metropolitan area. Back here in town, it's just been quiet, and that's really been the trend for the last week or so. But obviously, school is back in session for some students, and of course, we know parents are returning to work as well. And if you have to head up to the Alamo City or head down here maybe a little bit earlier than most, let's check out those travel times. I-10 coming in from Seguin, still pretty green with 28 minutes in those westbound lanes, 33 minutes if you're traveling in from Lavernia on 87 northbound. And for our friends in Floresville, 28 minutes to the Alamo City. Again, all right, back here on TransGuide, this is going to be the big issue probably for the next hour or so. I suspect that we'll be talking about this well into Good Morning America, but we'll get an update and hopefully get a better update before the show wraps up. Guys.
Stephen, thank you. New this morning, San Antonio police say a man was hit by someone driving a car on city's northeast side last night. It happened around 10:30 at the intersection of I-35 and Eisenhower. Police say the man in his 40s was crossing the access road when he was hit by a car. He was taken to the hospital with leg and head trauma. Police say the driver of the car did stop and tried to help. No charges have been filed.
New details this morning on a New Year's murder case and an arrest 2 days into 2023. San Antonio police say 38-year-old Aaron Lee is accused of killing his ex-girlfriend last Friday. Now, police arrested him Monday just before noon. His bond is set at $300,000. Along with a murder charge, he is facing a charge of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. Now, that's because he's also accused of shooting a man in the back twice. Police say the victim, Ashley Jones, and her friend were in a car parked on San Gabriel when Aaron Lee pulled up and started shooting. That's what police say. Now, Jones and her friend were able to drive to a nearby hospital, but Jones was pronounced dead shortly after.
Over in Uvalde, teachers are gearing up for classes to resume after Christmas break following a report of an intruder on one of the campuses. A call Monday just before 3 p.m. Uvalde police and DPS troopers cleared Dalton Elementary, found no one was on campus aside from a teacher. A report stated a man wearing all black carrying a backpack made it into a classroom. However, in a statement, the district said, quote, upon review of camera footage, the individual was walking outside the fence and had left the property's perimeter before authorities arrived. The individual was not seen on camera footage on campus or entering a classroom, end quote. Even though it turned out to be nothing, some are still concerned.
We relive this over and over because of instances like this. You know, now it takes us right back to that day. And so it's extremely scary.
Both the district and Uvalde's police chief encourage anyone who see something suspicious to say something immediately.
And this morning, if you're on social media, you have probably seen at least one firework video from someone you know. Unfortunately, for one San Antonio family, they say someone substituted a firecracker for a gun and pointed it at the sky. And that's what the family believes happened when they found a bullet lodged in their ceiling during New Year's celebrations. They had to cut the bullet out and give it to investigators. Adam Hansen says drywall debris on the ground led him to look up and find the bullet. His family says they are thankful no one was hurt, but Hansen wants to send a message to gun owners.
Don't be stupid with a firearm. Be responsible, right? Don't make other gun owners look bad. As expensive as ammo is, you think that he would use fireworks over ammo, especially the Lord's round being the .45?
Hansen has filed a report with Bexar County Sheriff's Office. Investigators plan to take a closer look at the bullet to try and find its owner.
Now, before we head to break, we'd like to share some great fireworks video from around the city. David Pequeño shared a different view of the fireworks during New Year's celebrations. A drone with Avid Season Productions captured fireworks near the Tower of the Americas, as well as neighborhoods behind the Alamo Dome. Quite a sight.
Yeah, it looks pretty cool. A similar sight could be seen in other communities across San Antonio. Fireworks are illegal inside the city limits, but take a look at what Mac Jones captured 32 floors above the Grand Hyatt San Antonio Riverwalk. He says he could see the same sights play out all around him. His video, along with many others, is being shared right now on social media.
Time check 6:08 on our Tuesday morning, 64 degrees.
And still to come on GMSA, the cost of getting your phone battery replaced is going up. We're going to take a look at why and how much it could cost you now. Plus,
I'm ABC's Wynn in Washington. A new Congress is set to start today, but Representative Kevin McCarthy's bid for the next Speaker of the House remains in peril. The details coming up.
And outside with live cam, breezy, cooler, a noticeable drop in humidity. 64 at San Antonio International Airport. Twelve minutes past the hour. Welcome back. This morning, as Republicans get ready to take control of the U.S. House, GOP leader Kevin McCarthy is still short of the votes he needs to clinch the speakership.
as ABC N1 reports, McCarthy is giving ground to major demands from his conservative colleagues as he tries to win them over.
This morning, a new Congress is set to convene with Republicans taking control of the House of Representatives. But there's still much uncertainty over the vote for Speaker. With only 4 Republicans to spare, GOP leader Kevin McCarthy of California is struggling to secure the votes he needs to clinch the gavel. 5 conservative members already said outright they won't support him. And even as McCarthy makes some concessions, including making it easier to remove him from his post, 9 others remain unconvinced, sources say. Representative Bob Good on Fox News.
I suspect 10 to 15 members will vote against him.
If McCarthy isn't initially elected, the quest for Speaker could extend into multiple rounds of votes, something that hasn't happened in a century. Despite that, McCarthy appears confident, his staffers spending the day moving his belongings into the Speaker's office.
Are you prepared to make more concessions in exchange for more support?
I hope we all have a very nice New Year's.
Meanwhile, McCarthy will need a yes vote from George Santos, the congressman-elect from New York who faces new legal trouble after admitting to lying or embellishing details of his career, college, and Jewish ancestry. Prosecutors in Brazil say they are reopening a 2008 criminal case against Santos for allegedly paying for goods with a stolen check. The case was suspended until now because police could not find Santos. It's on top of multiple investigations against Santos here in the U.S. Despite scrutiny from both sides of the aisle, top GOP leaders have largely remained silent, and Santos has refused to step down.
The vote for Speaker is expected around noon today. The House won't be able to conduct any other business until the Speaker is elected. Wynn, ABC News, Washington.
As we start the new year, money is on many people's minds, and when it comes to grocery shopping, prices will likely keep going up. That's according to the USDA's Food Price Outlook. They expect the food to cost between 3.5% and 4.5% more this year. If you're hoping to save, experts suggest making a grocery list and ordering online and avoiding temptations at the store. There may also be another benefit to online shopping.
But it also allows you to compare pricing very easily because it puts all similar food categories together.
You're a little close to that microphone, man. Experts also suggest using a loyalty app and buying generic over brand names to save some money. Just a professional tip. All right, 6:15.
Yeah, 6:15 now, and still problems on I-10. Let's go ahead and check back with our Stephen Cavazos.
Yeah, unfortunately, as I mentioned, I suspect that this will be here a little bit longer. We always hope for that better update before the show wraps up, but this is probably not going to be the case, at least for right now, because we do see that those those flashing lights out there. This is that 18-wheeler that rolled over in the early hours of the morning. We are now well into 2 hours of this scene still being pretty active. Of course, we are also locating some of those traffic lights out there. Those are actually vehicles exiting there along mile marker 537. That's because that's where it's being diverted, and you can see a little bit more of that buildup. It's slowly expanding just a bit there along I-10 eastbound as you approach mile marker 537. This is out to Bernie, so for anybody that probably plans to travel through those eastbound lanes, just watch out. We got to get over here back into town, northeast side, closer to that area. We will see some lane closures there along Loop 410 eastbound. That is because that is some drilling work. There will be some drilling work, taking place on Wednesday, January 4th. That is overnight, so late night owls, early bird commuters expect to see some right shoulder closures on Loop 410 eastbound between Perrin Bidle Road and Interchange Parkway. But of course, that information is on our website, ksat.com/traffic. You can head over there for more information. But the big issue that we are tracking right now is going to be back here on TransGuide. It's just been the topic of the morning. I'm not going to lie. I'm a little tired of talking about this, but I'm sure those first responders are working hard to get this thing cleared up. We want to let people know what's going on out there. So hopefully a better update before the show wraps up, but that's a big hope.
Happy New Year, fam. Good to have everybody here this morning.
Happy New Year. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
No, like I was going to say, add into what you were talking about. Sometimes they have to get all the stuff off of those trailers.
And we don't know if there's been a spill, unfortunately. Sometimes that could really hinder the work for first responders as well.
Indeed.
Yes,
Yeah,
definitely.
not good.
Anyway, did you have a good New Year's? Back to the New Year's high.
Yes. What about you?
Yeah, stayed up till a whopping 11 o'clock.
Really? You were able to go to
11
sleep? It was quiet enough to stay asleep?
Yeah, I fell asleep, but yeah, there was a lot going on around the house, though, with all the fireworks going on around there. So anyway, as you are heading out this morning, guess what? Yep,
the bus is back. Yay. Bravo.
I don't know if a bus has ever gotten that much applause before.
Probably not. Not when we were writing, right?
Too.
Exactly.
So, yeah, and since everybody's kind of been out of the habit, watch out for all the school buses out there.
Yes.
True.
57 degrees this morning. We'll continue to drop down. Light little jacket's not a bad idea. And then 75 high temperature today. A spectacular sort of a day. Low humidity. So it's going to be really nice. Maybe open up the windows later on this afternoon. And take a look at, speaking of this afternoon, and as the sun starts to set, it is going to be another spectacular sunset. And yeah, you got to cherish every one of them. This almost doesn't even look like a real picture out there. That is fantastic. Yeah, sunset, and then as that's going down, look to the east. The moon's going to be coming up. We're just a couple of days prior to the moon being full. It's going to be full on Friday. So both are going to be spectacular. Then sunrises the next couple of mornings. It's going to be really, really pretty out there. We got some clouds hanging around right now. That's helping to hold temperatures up somewhat. We have dropped to 64. I think we dropped down a few more degrees throughout the course of the next couple of hours. 47 right now in Kerrville. Really chilly out there. 50 in Comfort, 55 Bernie Stage, and even 62 in Lotus. So, we've got, again, cool enough for a light jacket starting off this morning. Bone dry air out there. These numbers are way, way below, and they have continued to drop down way below what they were yesterday. We've got that wind coming in here out of the northwest. It's going to be interesting to see what that does to the Mount Cedar count, which did drop yesterday from the previous day's reading. But yeah, these winds coming in here. And by the way, as far as the dew points are concerned, yesterday, remember, with all that humidity, we were in about the mid 60s. So we're almost 40 degrees more lower than what it was at this time yesterday. Here's what's going on the satellite radar picture. A couple things to take note of. Here's the line of showers and storms that develop right along that front. Also take note how everything's moving just about straight west to east. So this front that moved through was primarily what we call a Pacific front, not an Arctic front, not like what we had going in toward Christmas weekend. A lot of snow, a lot of frozen precipitation up here to the north of us, but this didn't really pull anything down from the north. As you can see, everything's coming in here from out of the west. And so that's why, yes, we will be cooler in the mornings thanks to the lower humidity around here the next couple of mornings, and that's going to stay very low through Wednesday and Thursday morning, but it's not as though we're getting a blast of colder air coming on in. Now, what will happen with the humidity going into Friday, it's really going to start to work its way back on in here and then into Saturday. Then it drops off again. That's as the next front moves on through here, and that one will pull down some colder temperatures, plus with the cloud cover, that's going to keep us on the cooler side. So we do stay above normal by, well, anywhere from 10, almost 15 degrees by Friday. Then we're down to 59 on Sunday. Low temperatures, normal low being 41 degrees. We'll get kind of close to it the next couple of mornings. 45 tomorrow, 44 on Thursday. But even going into the first part of next week, we're not seeing anything that's really normal for this time of year, average for this time of year. Forecast today. Beautiful day. Got some clouds starting off. We'll see more sunshine as the day progresses. 69 at noon, mostly sunny skies. High temperature today up to 75. Beautiful, beautiful afternoon. Whole different story than what we had yesterday. And same thing tomorrow, same thing on Thursday. Cool mornings, nice afternoons. Then the humidity comes back in here on Friday. And Saturday, we've got some clouds, a lot of clouds, maybe a couple of showers late as that front approaches. A chance of rain on Sunday, 59 degrees on Sunday. So if you're thinking about taking Halloween.
That's my time of year.
Hi. Christmas decorations down because you can keep your tree up, till Friday. Friday, Saturday, it's going to be a little bit muggy outside, but that'd be the day to do it on Saturday.
Okay.
Yes.
356 days till Christmas, Mike Osterhage.
Oh, no.
You're welcome. The looks. I love the looks. It's worth it every time. 621, 63 degrees.
And coming up next, a new smart oven is so smart it can tell you what you're cooking and how it can also keep you from burning something in your consumer headline.
What do you think, Steph?
I love it.
moderate to severe eczema. It doesn't care if you have a date, a day off, or a double shift. Make your move and get out in front of eczema with steroid-free Sabinco. Not an injection. Sabinco is a once-daily pill for adults who didn't respond to previous treatments. And it's proven to help provide clearer skin and relieve itch fast. Sabinco continuously treats eczema whether you're flaring or not.
Sabinco can lower your ability to fight infections, including TB. Before and during treatment, your doctor should check for infections and do blood tests. Tell your doctor if you've had hepatitis B or C, have flu-like symptoms, or are prone to infections. Do not take with medicines that prevent blood clots. Serious, sometimes fatal infections, lymphoma, lung, skin, and other cancers. Serious heart-related events and blood clots can happen. People 50 and older with heart disease risk factors have an increased risk of serious heart-related events or death with JAK inhibitors.
It's time to get out in front of eczema. Ask your doctor about once daily Sabinco.
In your morning consumer headlines, paying more for a new iPhone battery. Apple just announced plans to charge another $20 for its out-of-warranty battery service for all iPhone models. So the $69 service will go to $89. The new higher prices start in March.
LG is rolling out a new line of TVs promising to be up to 70% brighter. So some of the company's new models will feature a so-called per pixel brightness booster, which LG says creates a much clearer picture during daytime viewing or in any well-lit room.
That's cool. Samsung's updated smart oven is so smart it can tell what you're cooking. Oh, really? The oven has a camera inside, detects what you're making, and will suggest optimal cookie settings. Other highlights include a warning notification that prevents you from burning your meal. Stephanie Serna.
I like that. Looking ahead, lottery hopefuls have till 10 o'clock tonight to buy tickets for the Mega Millions jackpot. There were no lucky winners matching all 6 numbers on Friday night, so the jackpot expected to grow past $785 million ahead of tonight's drawing. If you remember, the lottery's worth $1.3 billion was won this past summer in Illinois.
Colin, our producer, just said in our ear, you can buy a lot of smart ovens with $785 million.
Yeah, one for every room.
One for every room. And no one will mess up dinner ever again.
No, that's right. We have multiple chances
to mess it up. Yes. 626, 64 degrees.
And still ahead at 6:30, the sentencing for ex-Bexar County Constable Michelle Barrientos Vela continues. We're going to take a look at how much prison time she could receive later today.
And all eyes around the country on the health of Buffalo Bills player Demar Hamlin after that devastating injury last night during Monday Night Football canceled the game. We've got the latest this morning on his condition.
And crews still dealing with that overturned truck on I-10 and Bernie area. We're going to be checking back with our Stephen Cavazos for the very latest.
Out of support, for another human being. Right now, his family, his team, his city and our city, needs him to pull through.
Right now at 6:30, the eyes of the sports world. People all around the country are checking on the health and condition of Buffalo Bills safety Demar Hamlin. We'll look at how he's doing as the NFL addresses fallout from last night's game.
And let's look out there with a live cam starting at 63 degrees today with all the kiddos. I shouldn't say all the kiddos. Some of the kiddos going back to school and a lot of people going back to work as well.
Yeah, I think there's some teacher in service happening for some districts as well today. Kids come back later in the week. Good morning, everybody. It is Tuesday, and that would be January 3rd, 2023.
Yeah, Happy New Year. Thanks for joining us. Some kiddos start today, some start tomorrow. My little one has one more day off, so she starts tomorrow.
There you go. Well, Mike said it earlier. We will see school buses back on the road starting this week without a doubt.
Yes, indeed. Back to Demar Hamlin very quickly, and I mentioned this earlier today. It's very reminiscent. About 50 years ago, Chuck Hughes had a similar situation where he had a heart attack. It was the Lions playing the Bears at Tiger Stadium. I was at that game, and he unfortunately died on the field, but really, really similar. And some of the reports have been showing that as well.
Yeah, that's the story we've been tracking all morning. We have the latest coming up.
Yeah. All right. Back to the forecast. It's a whole lot better this morning with as far as the humidity is concerned. We had that front move through overnight, did touch off some thunderstorms well off to the east, and we still have a few leftover clouds around here, but that picture albeit a little out of focus, is a lot better than what it was yesterday, basically because that number is way down. Dew points are down about 40 degrees compared to what they were yesterday, so that much drier air is in place thanks to those winds out of the northwest at 12 miles per hour. 62 in Helotes, 47 still in Kerrville, 60 Seguin, and 64 out there at the airport. I think we dropped down a few more degrees before it's all said and done. And again, there's those dew points well down in the 20s and 30s, and they're going to be staying on the low side for the next couple of days with this wind out of the northwest, a bit breezy at times later on this afternoon. It's going to be interesting to see what Mountain Cedar does. Now, of course, a couple of days ago it was up to almost 13,000. Then yesterday it dropped by almost half. Still obviously on the high side. Mold is on the low side. But like I said, with those winds coming in here out of the northwest, it's going to be interesting to see what Mountain Cedar does. Temperatures for the next couple of days really aren't going to be down. They'll be closer to normal readings, the low temperatures in the mornings, but we're still going to be kind of on the warmish side. But boy, we've got some beautiful weather for the next few days around here. Then we do have another front coming through for the weekend. That one's going to be touching off at least a couple of showers around here. Details on that in just a few minutes. Traffic Authority, Mr. Cavasso, still, is that the only big problem out there?
Only big problem, Mike. Everywhere else it has been quiet. It has been nice. Drivers don't really have a whole lot to worry about, but here along I-10, those eastbound lanes, it's a different story. This is that 18-wheeler that rolled over earlier into the early hours of this morning, pardon me, but we can probably expect to see a little bit more of a buildup there along the access road as traffic is being diverted to exit there. This is along mile marker 537. Again, those eastbound lanes, you could see flashing lights out there. Not necessarily the best shot, but of course we can see that it is still a very active scene, and we are also picking up a little bit more of the buildup. Actually, it looks like it's mildly improved. In fact, we're not even picking it up anymore on the map, so good news to report out there, but unfortunately it does still look like a pretty busy scene, so just watch out if you're traveling through the area. Let's get you back here into town because things have been quiet. It does look like a stall popped up along 281 as you approach 1604, so make sure you check your vehicles before you get out on the roadway. But we were talking about this earlier. The reason why we probably would see this scene still just taking place is because there could be a spill. First responders, it could take them a while to clear this out, so just remember to give them plenty of time. Give yourself plenty of time. We'll watch this closely, and again, fingers crossed, hopefully we'll have a better update in the next few minutes. Mark, Steph?
Thank you, Stephen. New this morning, firefighters with the Bexar County Emergency Service District knocked down a house fire over in Windcrest. This happened around 3 a.m. along Clear Drift and Faircrest Drive. Firefighters say despite the damage, the home was empty and there was no damage to neighboring homes. No injuries were reported.
Topping your morning headlines, the stunning situation that played out on live TV last night during Monday Night Football. Members of the Bills and the Bengals visibly upset after Bills defensive back Demar Hamlin was critically injured after making a tackle. After a long delay, the NFL postponed that game after Hamlin was rushed to a Cincinnati area hospital.
This morning, ABC's Lionel Moyes reports, gives us an update from the Buffalo Bills and the NFL.
This morning, prayers for Demar Hamlin.
We will all be doing a lot of that.
The 24-year-old Bills safety collapsing on the field in the first quarter after a tackle. The team releasing a statement overnight saying Hamlin suffered a cardiac arrest following a hit in our game versus the Bengals. His heartbeat was restored on the field, adding that Hamlin is currently sedated and listed in critical condition. We have decided not to show the play, but a Bengals player rammed into Hamlin at full speed, appearing to hit him in the head and chest. Hamlin quickly stood up, took 2 steps, and then collapsed. Players were visibly distraught, some crying, others having to look away as medics performed CPR for several minutes before rushing him away in an ambulance to UC Medical Center in critical condition.
CPR, or cardiopulmonary resuscitation, is the action of pushing on the chest in a rhythmic fashion to generate blood flow. And it's only done for one thing and one thing alone, which is cardiac arrest.
A show of unity as players formed a prayer circle around Hamlin as medics worked, and now questions as to what led to the collapse.
Right now, it's impossible to tell. There are types of sudden cardiac arrest caused by arrhythmias that could happen after a hit, but they could also happen to someone sitting on the sidelines. There's other types of cardiac arrest that occur after blunt force trauma to the chest.
The Bills posting a montage of well wishes for Hamlin. Fans have also been donating to a fundraising site that Hamlin recently posted to raise money for a toy drive.
Third annual toy drive, man. We're doing it for the kids, having a good time, man. So let's get back to it.
That site had a $2,500 goal. It quickly topped millions of dollars overnight. No word yet on when that game will be rescheduled. Some of his teammates were seen overnight arriving at the hospital, but you could feel it watching the game live and even seeing reaction from fans and players. The top concern for everyone over everything, Hamlin's safety. Lionel Moyes, ABC News, New York.
And right now, the NFL has not decided when or if that game will resume. Right now on KSAT.com, we've posted the link to our story on Demar Hamlin's community toy drive on GoFundMe. As you just heard, fans have been donating big money to raise money for the drive. The site had a $2,500 goal, and now it's reached over $3 million and counting overnight.
In other headlines, the Food and Drug Administration is expected to announce if it will give accelerated approval of an experimental Alzheimer's treatment. It's one of the first experimental dementia drugs that appears to slow the progression of cognitive decline. Now, accelerated approval allows for earlier approval of drugs that treat serious conditions like Alzheimer's. The FDA says phase 3 trials show potential, but there are also safety concerns. The drug has been associated with brain swelling and bleeding. The FDA's final decision is expected by January 6th.
Back here in Texas, a winter storm that turned deadly in California now threatens to bring powerful tornadoes to parts of the South, including Texas, and heavy snow to the Midwest. Governor Abbott has activated state emergency response resources in response to possible severe weather and flash flooding expected in parts of the state. The National Guard's been put on standby along with the State Department of Public Safety and the state's Public Utility Commission.
Happening today, the sentencing for ex-Bexar County Constable Michelle Barrientos Vela continues. Vela was found guilty 4 months ago on 2 counts of tampering with government records. The sentencing is scheduled to begin later this morning at 10. We're going to be live streaming it on our website at KSAT.com and also on our KSAP YouTube channel. The trial is expected to wrap up this week. Vela faces anywhere from 2 years probation to 10 years in prison.
638, 63 degrees.
And still ahead, if you're looking to save some money on your taxes, you are in luck. We're looking at ways to reduce what you could owe Uncle Sam this April next.
642 new this morning. San Antonio firefighters say a faulty water heater caused a fire at a northeast side apartment complex. Happened around 2:30 this morning along the 3400 block of Northeast Parkway. It's not far from Eisenhower and Ritterman Roads. Firefighters say when they arrived, they found smoke from a corner apartment. Only 2 apartments in the building were affected and no injuries were reported. Also this morning, as we start a new year, it's a good time to start thinking about your taxes.
The tax deadline is still months away, but that doesn't mean you can't reduce what you may owe Uncle Sam.
Jay O'Brien tells us how you can stay organized.
If you're looking to save some money on your 2022 tax bill, boosting your retirement savings could offer some big tax benefits. Contributions to your 401k come out of your paycheck before income taxes are deducted, which lowers your tax bill for the year.
Keep in mind you can contribute up to $20,500 for 2022.
If you're over the age of 50, you can make a catch-up contribution of $6,500 for the year. And there may be another benefit to depositing money in your 401k.
Your employer can also match some of the money that you put into your retirement account.
Another way to save for retirement is with an IRA. There are several different types available, with contributions coming from either pre-tax or after-tax dollars.
You can, of course, put up to $6,000 into this account. You still have some more time to give or put money into those accounts because you don't have to do so until April 18th of next year, which is the tax deadline.
It's also important to remember to check the balance in your flexible spending account. Pre-tax money deposited in these FSAs can be used for healthcare expenses not covered by insurance.
You definitely want to spend down your account because, of course, you may lose it after 12/31. So check those account balances.
During the holidays, many people find themselves in the giving spirit, and making those charitable donations can give you an added deduction.
Check out the organization that you're giving the goods or the money to because they have to be a tax-exempt organization in order to qualify.
One final bit of expert advice as the year comes to an end: make a list of all the documents you'll need. That way you'll be organized when it's time to file your 2022 taxes. Jay O'Brien, ABC News.
644.
And it looks like things cleared up on I-10. Let's check back with Stephen Cavazos.
You didn't see me do this? I was like, it cleared. No, it's okay. You know what, though? Better news report out here, and this is what we really were hoping for. You could see that incident, the rollover involving an 18-wheeler, looks like it's cleared out, and traffic's moving a little bit slow out there, but better progress because that was actually really impacting a few folks out there that were being diverted onto the access road. Now, this was along the eastbound lanes of I-10 near mile marker 537, so cleared out according to what we're seeing on TransGuide. It's not being reported by TxDOT anymore, so again, better news to report. That is what we were hoping for. However, when one incident clears, it does look like another one has already popped up here and in a pretty busy spot and busy time. 281 southbound at Hildebrand back here in town. We have a second crash to report, and you can see the buildup taking place along those southbound lanes as drivers are approaching Hildebrand. Not sure of the severity of it, but it doesn't look like it's causing a huge delay just yet, but give it some time. It is morning rush, so we'll probably see that change in a little bit. And if you notice on the map, we have a few more of those spots where we're seeing a little bit more red picking up there. Yesterday was pretty much a green and copy and paste type of map situation that we were looking at, but now with folks returning to work and some kids returning to class, we will likely see a few more of those spots tend to build up over the next few days or so. But the good news is right here, our friends at TransGuide have been great. They've been working to get us information and visual spots there, but it does look a lot better there at I-10 as you approach mile marker 537.
100% agreed. Yeah. Thank you, Stephen.
Yeah, good news. So yesterday evening was kind of funny because it was dark, and just out of habit, my little girl was going to basketball practice, and I was like, "Oh, here, grab this light jacket," and she just looked at me like, "What?" Yesterday,
crazy,
yeah.
This morning,
this morning.
Not a bad idea. The next couple of mornings, afternoons are going to be fantastic on the warm side, so we won't need a jacket in the afternoon, and we've got some very, very dry air out there. First of all, take a look at this picture. I absolutely love this picture.
Aww.
A boy and his dog chasing lizards into a tree.
That's cute.
From our good friend Yvonne over there.
Good picture.
Yeah, and she says, I don't know who's more disappointed. They can't catch one, the boy or the dog. So, and that
both.
Beautiful golden retriever. What a great, I love that shot. So thank you very much for the KSAT Connect picture, Yvonne. We do have some clouds still hanging around here this morning. Notice how traffic's also definitely picking up as folks head back to work and school. 64 degrees, so not bone chilling, but light jacket weather. Definitely jacket in the hill country. 50 Comfort, 47 in Kerrville, 60 Seguin, and Hondo is at 55. We'll still drop down a couple of more degrees. These numbers make all the difference in the world. The dew points, which at this time yesterday were 35, 40 degrees higher than what they are today. So the front moved on through here as expected, pulled in all this dry air. The dry air is going to be sticking around for the next couple of days, and so that will allow things to warm up nicely. Really, really pleasant. Once we get rid of these clouds this morning, we're going to make it up to the upper 60s at noon, 69 degrees to be exact, and then 75 for a high temperature. So we're still going to be on the warm side with temperatures anywhere from 10 to 15 degrees above normal. Normal high being 63 this time of year. And as far as the humidity, like I said, it stays in, or it stays out of here. I was almost going to say it stays in place. The dry air stays in place for the next couple of days. And so we'll have these cool mornings and then warm up quickly in the afternoons. Jackets in the morning, not in the afternoon. The really, really cold air, and as you can see, you've got sort of this unbalanced situation here in the country with warm air very far north as St. Louis, and then same latitude, 36 at Wichita, 19 in Denver, but that really cold air is not going to be coming on in here. We had the Pacific front move on through, and so that is pulling in the drier air, which allows temperatures to drop down in the morning, not the big blast of cold air. This low, which out ahead of it has been producing some severe weather off to the northeast of us. We get this flow, this northwesterly flow in here, and that's going to be the situation for the next couple of days. Then this little kind of a little bump right here. This will help out with the humidity coming back in here. Warmer temperatures on Friday with this southwesterly flow. Then we get another front that's going to come through Saturday night into Sunday, and this little kind of trough right there with that next front hopefully will give us a couple of showers. We've got right now about a 30% chance for some rain on Sunday and somewhat cooler temperatures thanks to the cloud cover hanging around here on Sunday. But again, as far as any really, really cold stuff, that's still going to be staying up there to the north for the foreseeable future. So the forecast today, again, gorgeous. Jacket this morning, won't need it by the afternoon, 69 at noon. Mostly sunny skies. High temperature makes it up to 75 later on today with mostly sunny skies. Open up the windows kind of a day today. Cool in the morning. Yeah, make sure you shut them tonight, Mark, or else you'll be really cold tomorrow morning.
Yes, sir.
Then warm in the afternoon. Still above normal temperatures, close to them the next couple of mornings. And then 76 on Friday. Plenty of humidity going into Saturday, and that front will move through. Give us a chance of rain on Sunday.
You say that like I've done that before, left the window open and then frozen to death.
Really?
Yeah.
You think?
Not that bad.
I did. Yeah, it's my own fault. And it was awesome. 6:50, 63 degrees.
And coming up next, a case of mistaken identity ends up with a real estate agent getting an invite to the Masters golf tournament. How he figured it out in just moments.
Outside with Lycan. Thanks for starting your day and your new year with us right here on KSAT 12. It is a privilege. You're watching GMSA.
Good morning. Coming up here on a Tuesday edition of GMA, the latest on that breaking news with Buffalo Bills player Demar Hamlin, who collapsed during the Monday Night Football game after suffering cardiac arrest. What we know about his condition this morning. And the latest on the Idaho student murders. The suspect due in court today, and the father of murder victim Kaylee Gonsalves is only on GMA this morning with his reaction to the latest developments in the case. You'll see these stories and so much more right here on GMA.
All right, before you go, check out this story. An Atlanta area real estate guy who's not a pro golfer was recently invited to play golf's most prestigious event, the Masters. Scott Stallings got a package from Augusta National Golf Club with an invite for this April. He quickly realized it was a case of mistaken identity. The package was intended for a different Scott Stallings, who is in fact a professional golfer. The realtor reached out to the pro golfer on Instagram to let him know about the mix-up. The three-time PGA Tour winner was relieved since he was eagerly awaiting his first Masters invite since 2014. So the question our producer brings up, does Augusta National do the right thing and bring the other Scott Stallings in for a pass to watch the whole thing that weekend?
I think they should.
To kind of make it right?
Yeah, it'd be neat, with the whole name
Give him a
and
green
everything.
jacket, too, just for...
I don't know about that.
We're not going to do that.
Yeah. But yes, let him watch and have, a good, I was going to say a good seat, a good area to watch everything from.
Good luck, Mr. Stallings, both of you. Right now, 5 till 7.
Let's go ahead and check back with Stephen Cavazos.
Well, better news report along I-10. We did see that 18-wheeler that rolled over cleared out, so it looks like our wishes were answered. But unfortunately, here along 281 at Basse, this is not what we were hoping for. Another crash reported out there, and this is along the southbound lanes. This is a shot from TransGuide. You can see a few lanes are blocked off by that fire truck out there, and in fact, we do have some road flares. I saw first responders placing along the lanes of 281. So we are going to see a buildup. It is morning rush hour. 281 southbound as you approach Hildebrand is where we have it pinpointed on the map right now, and you can see that red already stretching there along the southbound lanes of 281. We'll watch it closely throughout the morning.
Cool morning out there, and grab a jacket. 64 in town, 55 Bernie Stage, and then drops into the 40s in the hill country. And then a nice big warm up throughout the day, up to 75 for high temperature, very low humidity, bit of a breeze here and there. Let him play in the Pro-Am. At least put the two guys together.
Right? Okay, that would work. Unless the pro, Mr. Stallings, is like, man, you're a terrible golfer.
Well, I mean, just, let him hit one tee shot and be done with it.
Maybe.